But they were never given a chance, were they? This was a straight up deal that went because it was nini. So all I'm saying is that hapa kwa baba alikuwa naenda na zile vitu ameona na zile vitu. Now it's coming out that brown envelope ndio hiyo.
But had the US not done this this indictment,
investigation, yes.
Yeah, I think, like politically, Baba would have sanitized it and it would have sailed. But the problem now, because this thing is now out in the open, Baba now has egg on the face. Like whether he likes it or not. He has egg on the face because his ministers and even himself have been sanitizing this for a while. The ones who've been consistently sanitizing
I don't
this.
think so, in my opinion.
Where are things going? And of course, Mick already gave us a preview of what's happening in ODM. But what is the best saying? Almost fire.
So Baba's core supporters are Baba's core supporters. They're going nowhere. And basically what would end up happening is if he decides he's running, wako na yeye. If he decides he's going to endorse somebody, wako na whoever he is going to endorse. They're going nowhere. Now
it's for poor 100% because Baba supporters are talking badly in a nuru.
You see, there's talk and then there's reality. Because
kitu moja unajua watu wamesahau ni
wacha Omosha malize. Wacha Omosha malize point yake alafu utaingia Mika. Omosha.
So what is coming out of this thing about Adani, if you are just looking at it from the outside in, meaning when mtu ambaye umesikizia tu Adani, umepiga tu kuangalia zile projects wako nazo, and remember even before this exposure that came out with the US government, nobody was necessarily saying at vitu ziko mbaya nini. There had been some rumors or fununu kidogo, but nothing substantial that somebody could hold. Right? And based upon the work on the ground that they had done, which is how that statement was made, was based upon ile kazi wamefanya, blah blah blah, watu wako poa na wanaweza fanya hii kazi juu tushaona kazi yao vile imefanyika, mimi mwenyewe nilienda huko na nikaona. That's basically
what he said.
That's what he's endorsed. He said he went to he's even been to that airport. The one that these guys facelifted and did the same type of I guess I'm not saying it's the same type of deal or same deal, but it would be something similar where they went, they did a facelift and so on and so forth with the airport and improved it and that type of thing.
It was a complete new build,
right? So from what he's saying is that based upon that, I say mina wapea tick juu nishaona kazi yao.
Clean bill of health.
Yes. Now comes back that watu wanapewa kitu not because wanaweza fanya job, but because wanaweza toa brown envelope. Sasa hapo then you have to question, okay, how many other people were sidelined who could potentially have done this for less money and done a better job because nobody else ever even competed for it because it was a straight up P2P PPP, which basically was never put out there to anyone else. And it was a direct engagement.
It was a direct engagement.
Sindio? So, and that's part of the thing is like, okay, fine, we need to get this done. Why don't we make it competitive so we get the needs from everybody? We have people who run airports, people who are building airports, people who are doing all sorts of different things. I'm sure even that guy of the Nigerian guy who's got what? Is it Gatwick? He's a Nigerian guy who has Gatwick. I'm sure that guy, maybe if he had known that kulikuwa na kakanini, pengine angekuja kaingia juu anasema I'm just saying.
There was a company that actually wanted Qatar, the one that does Qatar Airport, the Qatar company that does Qatar Airport, and the one that has the Rwanda Airport deal, and the Ugandan Airport deal. There was that. There was Dinata that does Heathrow, does Dubai, and I believe it's negotiating to do a few American companies airports. There are American companies that run airports that will have done. There were a lot of companies that will have done.
Correct, but they were never given a chance, were they? this was a straight up deal that went because it was nini. So all I'm saying is that hapa kwa baba alikuwa naenda na zile vitu ameona na zile vitu. Now it's coming out that brown envelope ndio hiyo.
But Omosh, before you go back to Mika, Omosh, like the problem with what Baba did is that it was no secret of the dirty deals that Adani had been doing. They've had cases of corruption within their own country.
Correct.
Like this was not it wasn't a secret. Like
there
even
there was actually an outcry from Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, who he was taking over the power companies because of the deal that he had signed for them. He had crashed the power in the power distribution in the country, and he was taking over those. And there was an Australian government actually had a warrant of arrest out for him, and they had kicked out the company based on environmental negligence and corruption. There was which other country? Like the dude has so many cases that were outside there. There's a reason why there was this American investigation that's going on. So Omosh, we cannot say here. Unajua umeongea kama fanua baba kabisa vile umesema baba dai. We cannot
si nimeulizwa ni opinion yangu.
Ndo nakwambia opinion yako ni ya baba die hard. Nikikwambia tuwezi try kusana. Mimi pia
What did you ask for? So you asked about die hard.
Mimi siwezi try kumsanitize. Niseme ati baba looking out from outside, he only saw the Gujarati airport, and that's the only one airport that they have built.
Now Mika, going back to Omosh, you see what I like about what Omosh is saying is that we need that perspective from the diehard because ngoja Mika, because also perspective or rather perception is everything. So like you Mika and I, yes, we can see through this, like and I don't think the average Kenya was following the case that Adani was kicked out Australia.
The other ones, yeah. There are many. So I think this guy has cases probably in every country.
So Baba's message maybe might have resonated with his core because people are not aware of all these other, like issues. However, the Senate kept discussing a lot of these issues that Adani had. Where now this becomes problematic for Baba, had the US not done this indictment,
investigation, yes.
Yeah, I think, like politically, Baba would have sanitized it and it would have sailed. But the problem now, because this thing is now out in the open, Baba now has egg on the face. Like whether he likes it or not. He has egg on the face because his ministers and even himself have been sanitizing this for a while. The ones who've been consistently sanitizing this.
I don't think so, in my opinion.
Ali, do you think, or you guys, do you think that maybe it's time that Watuka kina Baba need to look at Baba route or what, and need to look at politics different. And this is not the same Kenya of 2022.
No, it's not. You're right. It is not.
I don't think the electoral is the same. I think it's time that they start kuangalia politicians kama kina Sifuna who can play both sides easily because they know how to do they know how to sell perception. They know how to get on the bandwagon and they know how to jump out of the bandwagon real cool and look like they were not in that bandwagon at all. Because if what I'm saying, what Baba did was politics. Baba anajua mimi nikisema Kibaki tosha. That's how he knows to do politics, right? Ruto anajua yake ni ile nikiwadanganya it's gone. Like ile politicking. The only type of
politicking, yes.
Yeah. And I think they need to realize that sahi mtu yuko ushago pia na Twitter.
The base is different.
Alafu kuna Facebook pia, right? In a day, it's like 7 million Kenyans log into Twitter. 42 point something, alafu 20 point, ilikuwa 20, number nimeona leo mahali, 20 point something million Kenyans log on to Facebook. TikTok has the most. And
that's a lot.
Kwa kila mahali.
Now, Mika, I agree with you, but with a caveat or a disclaimer. I agree with you that the electorate has changed and the dynamics have changed. The caveat that I'll put is that it's not been tested on the ballot. So I think part of the reason why, like Baba Ruto and all these old school guys are still holding on to what they know is because it has worked the previous 100 times. So until we have a by-election and they see something, then I think that's a point when they will react.
Do you agree it's something they need to start reconsidering? Because najua kwa wazee they have the wazee vote. Najua vote ya wazee wako nayo kabisa. Hiyo hata ni ngumu kuchange wazee akili. Hata ndio natemia maandamano.
They definitely need to start reconsidering, but Mika, you also have to remember, I'm dividing Kenya's history into 3 parts. The first part was the KANU era, like Jomo Kenyatta and then Moi. There was generally one way of doing politics. Those who never read the signs were swept out after the 1992 multipartyism election. Then from that 1992 multi-party, Kenyan politics changed, and we've stuck to that situation for another 30 years, because 1992 to 2022, that's 30 years. So now we are in phase 3. But now phase 3 has not been tested, because now the KANU of between 1992 to 2022 was now this merry-go-round ruling party and opposition, because that's the way politics has been done in Kenya. Start a term and then, form a coalition, and then all of you now start eating against the people. That's how things have been done. So now we are in phase 3, but phase 3 has not quite been tested yet. And I think that is the jitteriness that's out there that's even making Ruto and even Raila not confident enough to push for IEBC. Because once IEBC is set up and once the first ballot is cast for the by-elections, there are around the 10 by-elections that are supposed to be there, I think that will be the beginning of phase 3, and people need to prepare themselves.
You see, even with Baba, what's not also helping is like the CS, Opiyo Wandayi. When he comes out and says, it doesn't, just because over there, those guys have said whatever they said over there, over here, that is over there. This has nothing to do with this over here. So we'll proceed with it. Right? That's what he said.
Yes.
State of the Union.
That's why I think there's something that we don't know.
Yes.
Either this thing was a surprise factor, like a couple of hours before the speech, or maybe Ruto might have known earlier, but like him, he likes coming out as the hero in any crisis. He let other people ban. He let other people ban, and then he'll come out as, I am the one who cancelled the finance bill. The MPs remain with egg on the face. I am the one who cancelled the Adani deal. So now he comes out as the hero, and all these other guys in the broad-based government remain with egg on the face.
Ali,
Let me go to
that one, yes.
Yeah.
Ali, you're totally right on that, because the FBI were the first to release the statement, right? And then the SEC followed, and then New York, the district court followed that with the statement and received the statement of Adani. Based on how governments work and the relationship that Kenya has with the US, I'm sure there was communication before.
Okay.
When that was put in. Now, what I want to remind is that, do you remember the day before the PSC fired all the permanent secretaries and put an advertisement for permanent secretaries?
When was that? After
before the day before the
State of the Nation.
The State of the yes. I even shared that newspaper clip when they advertised for this position, like all the PSs were fired.
Yeah.
So the thing, what I think is that we know for Ruto, and the reason he fired some of his CSs is, and the issue that he had was that they all have to sing from the same hymn book. If this is the government position and everything, you're going to sing the same hymn book, regardless of how it is. You're going to sing the same. That's why you even find the deputy speaker. I've never heard before a deputy speaker speaking out about the matters of what is happening in the country, like deputy speakers supporting things like Adani, supporting things
Yeah.
like Chief. Like,
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
very
had-
unusual. Yeah.
that was very. I've never heard anything like that. You hear the president PA speaking in public as who? You're not a government employee. You're not elected in the government. You're a personal assistant. You are a private employee for that guy. You're not supposed to be, unless the press secretary is the one who's supposed to speak, not you. Yeah, Pia, he's holding rallies and speak. Like, it becomes such.
It's become so chaotic.
It's become like the more drums we beat, the more they'll dance to the rhythm. So to pick it to kelele to boom 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 boom. Back at the first ladies addressing people about such stuff, asking for forgiveness that if we've ruled badly. Woman, you're not ruling.
Now,
You be a president too.